Welcome to my PBQ. The title of my PBQ is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. As you can tell from the title, it is about music. So basically the introduction is basically asking kids if they've ever had to memorize information using songs, if it's ever helped them. And I use the example of there's been music lyrics from songs that you remembered from years ago, but yet you can't remember information that you learned in the classroom a couple days ago. So my theory is that music really helps children understand and keep the information in their brain longer. So this whole PBQ is about how music can change your academic life by helping you memorize information easier and more efficiently. So the task of this PBQ is we will start off with showing the students how memorization can be used through songs. So the first week we're going to learn the states and capitals by using a song from YouTube that displays the states and capitals. So every day for about an hour or two we will be learning the song together, learning a little bit more per day, practicing, so that way the song really gets stuck in their head, and it might be repetitive, and it might annoy them a little bit, but it's going to, in the end, it's really going to help them memorize that information. So by the end of that week, they can see how much the song has stuck in their head and how much of the information they have been able to memorize from that. So once they see how the states and capitals song helps them memorize the states and capitals for their own benefit, then the next week they will be placed in groups of 3 and they will be creating their own song. They'll have lyrics, a little bit of choreography, nothing too fancy, just a little bit of hand movements and gestures that will help them memorize information for a particular topic or subject that they choose. So throughout the process of this, they will be keeping a journal of all of their random ideas or thoughts while creating the song, and maybe lyrics that they first originally had thought they were going to use and then they decided that they didn't. It's just basically a way to track their progress throughout them creating the song, so I can see what their mind was thinking of when they were creating the song. And at the end of the project, once they create the song, they have the lyrics, the choreography, and everything, they will create a commercial which advertises their song to the class and create a 5-question quiz using Google Form for their classmates about the song. So they'll show the videos to the class and they'll submit their journal to me on the same day, and then everyone will take the quizzes after they've heard the song a couple times, and it'll show the group how effective their song was. So if everyone got a 0 on the quiz, they can see that their song wasn't very effective and the information didn't stick in people's minds. But vice versa, if everyone did really well on the test, then they can see that their song really helped people and it could help them in the future as well. So the process of this task will be broken up into 2 different parts. The first part is week number 1, which is just introducing the concept of music and songs to memorize information. We'll introduce the states and capitals song. We'll review the song daily for 4 days. And every day we'll be learning more and more of the song, practicing every day. And then on the 5th day, which will be the Friday, there will be a quiz for the students to see if they learned the states and capitals. So it'll be a written exam, which will hopefully show the students that even though it is a written exam and some people might not be good test takers, the information is already there. So it's just them displaying the information that they already learned through the song. So weeks 2 and 3 will be solely dedicated to their group work. So they have the group of 3, and each student will be assigned a role in their group. They will be required to create lyrics and basic choreography to a song about any subject or specific topic that they want for their grade level. So that's completely up to them. As long as it's academic and the teacher approves of their subject, then it's all good. So then once they decide on which role each of them are going to take for the project, they start their project right away. They start with keeping a journal of their thoughts, ideas, questions, concerns while creating the song. And then, like I said before, once the song is created, they create a commercial that's more like a business advertisement with the song and the choreography in the background. So this incorporates technology into the project, lets them work together as a group, edit, add music, all that kind of stuff, so that way they can get well acquainted with video making technology. And then they will use Google Forms, so it'll also incorporate more technology into the video or into the project for them. They will have to use Google Form, and they create a short 5-question quiz. It could be multiple choice, short answer. It's completely up to them. They just have to make a 5-question quiz, and they'll send it to the rest of their classmates. And at the end of the week 3, which they'll have the 2 weeks just to perfect this part of the assignment, they will show the video to the class, turn in their journal, have the class take the quiz, and it'll just show them if their song really helped. So here I have an example of a YouTube video. So this example is of students, or like a song that helped people memorize the periodic table. So this technically isn't students creating a choreography dance and what we're doing as the assignment, but it is an example of what a song lyrics might look like. So it is really helpful when students are learning the periodic table, because instead of just memorizing the name, the letter, the number, all that kind of stuff, the song kind of puts it in a fun way, so that way they can memorize the information easier. So that will be a good tool that students can look at before and then realize, oh, okay, this is what she means by this, and they can kind of build from there. So the roles that each student will have when they are in their groups of 3, the first role is rhythm. So one student will be in charge of creating a good rhythmic pattern. They can either create their own rhythm, or they can find a rhythm on the internet that they think would be a really good rhythm to use for their song. One student will be in charge of the topic, so they will be the one, oh, okay, we're going to do the periodic table. Or they could do a broad subject and just say, we're going to do geography. And they could pick songs that memorize the continents, the capitals of all the countries, different things like that. So it's completely up to them how specific they want to be about their topic. And the third role would be the choreographer. So it's nothing too fancy. It's just simple hand gestures or hand movements, body movements that would help add on to memorization of the information. So once all 3 of them have established their own roles, then all 3 of them will simultaneously take on the combined role of the composer. So they'll create the lyrics together, so they can build off one another, build off each other's ideas, and not just have one person doing the majority of the work. This way it allows them to work together and also say what they do and do not like about each other's ideas. So it encourages a lot of group work, which is what a PBQ is all about. So the evaluation is a basic rubric. The different parts that they will be graded on will be the U.S. Capitol song, so it'll be putting forth recognizable effort, practice regularly, scored a B or better on the end of the week test. And that's one of the very few tangible things that we can grade in this project. It's just grading a B or better on the test. But a lot of them are a group collaboration, the song created, the video created, the journal, Google form. There's no right or wrong answer for these. It's just basically me seeing if they had a lot of effort, a lot of group work, constant communication, accurate and great information displayed. It's just all about basically their effort and their willingness to work together as a group, which is what a PBQ is all about. And although we really do want them learning the information in the song and learning information from their classmates' songs, we really want to stress how important it is for the students to work together and to be able to create a song together rather than one person making the song and the other people just agreeing. So it's really important for the workplace as they grow older that they know how to work well with others, and that's what we're trying to promote at a young age. So in conclusion, we asked the students, what have you learned from this lesson? And basically, the overall concept is just that music can be a great tool to help students memorize information. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in an academic setting. It could be when they're playing a sport, they could memorize how to do certain plays or certain things using music. And, some students might not really like the music or the rhythm of this type of learning, but it might really adhere to some students, and that's what the goal of this lesson is we want to make sure that all different types of learners are addressed here, not just we basically usually adhere to the auditory or the visual learners when we really need to adhere to everyone. So there are hands-on learners, there are kinesthetic learners, there are musical learners, So we want to make sure that all of them are addressed, and that's what this PBQ is really stressing. So there's also 3 links here for further knowledge on this subject. There's just links about music in general and how it helps in the classroom, and then about how memorization can be used through music. So those links just are articles written by scholars that just give you a little bit more information about why I'm doing this and what this whole concept of music integration is about. So this last page would be the teacher's page. It's just a quick little place for teachers to scan and see if they're interested in even doing this project. There's the standards addressed and a short little reason why I decided to pick this topic. It shows the time commitment of about 3 weeks for about an hour or 2 per day. And then there's a place to contact me if they have any further questions, concerns, or they want more information if they're really interested in it. I'd be happy to give that to them. So hopefully you understand a brief overview of my PBQ of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So hopefully you will be able to use this in the classroom. Thank you.